Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us for another installment of Taking It Back with Frankie Val and Zach Payne. What's up, guys? Happy Debate Thursday. You guys
Hey,
okay?
fellers.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Great to be with you guys. You guys excited for the debate tonight?
Not really.
No?
I'm excited. I'm excited because I've been waiting 4 years for this to happen, and every single time I brought it up, I had so many people in my chat. The debate's not going to happen. They're going to stop it. They're not going to let it happen. Everybody's a concern fag, and so now here we are. The debate is in a couple of hours, and if President Trump shows up and Biden doesn't, I think it's still a win. So let's bring it.
I think I'm a little bit more stoic about the whole thing. And so to say excited, it'll be nice to be together with friend. I have a friend coming. My buddy Jay is going to be by tonight for the show, and when I told him, hey, you know what, it's debate night that night. He said, oh, I'll stay for some overtime if you want to watch it. I said, okay. So I'm happy for some company with friends, and I'm really just going to be analyzing this from a Jersey Shore kind of perspective, and also just trying to get a feel off the bat what the narrative is going to be set for by tomorrow morning going forward, because I think we discussed this last week as far as moving the needle for anybody that's intending to vote in November. I don't think that this is really going to have any kind of an impact. I think that this is really going to be a litmus test for those who are managing the political game board right now to see just to really see whether or not they have to jettison certain people or ramp up, hysteria one place or another. I really just think that this is a market test for those who are managing the board.
So, Frank, when you say you're doing this from a Jersey Shore perspective, does that mean that you're going to get oiled up and get a pump on live on the air?
I've already got some of the tan going. You think that I had a come to Jesus moment when it came to going outside and just facing the sun this year. You think that I was Zach's next door neighbor?
You are looking pretty dark.
I get a little golden.
The funny thing is, man, I've talked about this many, many times, but there's like this concerted effort to get people to stay as far away from the sun as possible. Indeed. They do not want you going in the sun. And that's one of the best things that you can possibly do. Get outside, touch some grass, take your shoes off, lay out there in the sun, produce some vitamin D naturally, get as many rays as you possibly can. And I don't even wear sunscreen. Okay. Like, first of all, that shit's poison. You're putting poison all over your body. Your skin is your largest organ, and you're going to be absorbing all of that. If I put anything on my skin, I'm putting like coconut oil. Yeah. I want it to be soaking up and getting naturally bronzed. So, I actually heard something yesterday that the idea that you go in the sun and you're going to get skin cancer is a total misnomer. Like, you may get like benign skin lesions or something like that. Like a mole, you might have to get taken off. But like melanoma, the stuff that is going to kill you, it's actually a side effect of not getting enough sun.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was from a dermatologist.
Very interesting. Yeah, I last year I couldn't do it at all because there was so much work being done on the house. It was just, yeah, you guys remember. There was just so much going on. My whole summer was kind of weird. But I said, damn it, I'm going out there. And I'll tell you, I mainly took it as a piece of health advice from a lot of my friends who work in health, whether it be my nutritionist or other people there too. They're constantly telling me, Frank, like you just said, Zach, everybody's baseline prescription is usually get some morning sun on your eyeballs.
Yep.
Get in the grass a little bit every day. Just kind of ground yourself. And damn it, if you can just get a couple of minutes of just get that sun on your skin, expose as much skin as you can to it, and just, hey, listen, if you got sensitive skin, manage it however the hell you got to do it. But build up your tolerance to it and just absorb that shit. So I've been doing it. I'll tell you, aside from being the tannest I've been in about 3 years, I feel fantastic.
And, think about like old school sanatoriums, like people who were saddled with like diseases that are going to make you die, like tuberculosis. Okay. What was the first line of defense for tuberculosis? They would set the beds outside in a field so that people could just sit there, get fresh air, and soak up the rays. And, plenty of people lived through it.
They got those. I've seen those pictures there
Yeah.
too. It's like aerial shots of old, like probably from the 50s and 60s or whatever the hell it is, or even earlier at hospitals where a lot of patients, whether it be TB or something else, they were brought out onto sun decks.
Yep.
And given prescribed amounts, amounts of sun every day. I often wonder how many people who are terminal or really, really, in bad shape in hospitals all around the country would actually be impacted positively, maybe even trigger a turnaround if they were just kept connected in some way to the outside world. I think the term failure to thrive became so popular during 2020 when we talk about just the deadliness of isolation, especially for the elderly during all the lockdowns and shit. And you think about the time that if anybody spends a significant amount of time in the hospital, there are many times where it's weeks and weeks and weeks you're not leaving your room, let alone being wheeled up and down the hallway, let alone being put in front of the sun on a sun deck. That's where there's a huge divide between Western medicine and common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten more sun myself this year than I have in a while, and it does feel great. I don't use sunscreen either. I let it burn me once at the beginning of the year. I just kind of let it torch the white right off me, and then
you gotta get that baseline,
Yeah, you got that Palestinian base.
So I'm half German, I'm half Palestinian. So I always joke, like that first time out in the sun, I just burned the German layer right off, and then I just fully embrace the desert side of me after that.
Yes.
Going
sunning your balls. The ball sunning is what I've heard that is a it can be up to a 100 or 200% increase in testosterone if you're giving it a few minutes a day.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And that
I get plenty of sun on these balls, guys. Let me tell you.
That's it. That's it. Tape my balls to my stomach, walk around. Did you hear about the I put it into the opening of my show tonight, but you guys saw the female Edmonton Oilers fan that flashed everybody at one of the playoff games a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
She was tracked down and she was given at least maybe some sort of a contract. She signed with Playboy. Now, can you imagine if you, me, or Adel, Zach, went outside and showed everybody our nuts?
Man, I could only imagine. I hope
you got to do a sporting event, though. You got to do it in a crowded area with the cameras rolling and get those sponsorships, man.
They're not signing us to anything except a couple of years in prison.
That's right. I was going to say sex offender registry. That's for us.
Yeah.
But can you imagine being that woman's kid? Like, Jimmy, was that your mom at the Oilers game last night?
She looked great.
I always knew there was something special about her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a interesting night tonight. The real question is by tomorrow morning, I think we're all gonna have a better understanding of whether or not the late September event is going to happen. And somebody had said, let me throw this at you guys. Let me see what you have to say. Somebody in my Gilded chat said yesterday something pretty interesting, that probably one of the best things that Trump could do is demand that that at the next debate, he and Joe Biden would be joined by RFK Jr. And for the reason being that it would probably harm Joe a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more, and I don't know. It would take a lot more away. It would actually hamper the obvious slanted moderation that's going to go out here. I mean, to go up there with all. I heard that they went the 7 second dump feed is actually going to be a 2-minute delay now.
Yep.
And
Is that actually happening? Because CNN denied that.
I don't know. That's why I heard. Well, no matter what, we've already seen enough of these to know exactly how this is going to be managed and what they're able to do and concentrate on as far as targeting everything they can at Donald Trump, making him feel like he's just like a bull in the china shop, and everybody else is a decent person, and he just does not like obeying the rules and blah blah blah. I think it would be really interesting to actually just have 3 candidates up there, just from the standpoint of the managing network would have to split all of their attention across the board, and then there would be 2 candidates that they loathe, and that would be interesting.
I think so too. Did you happen to see that video of Donald Trump? He was on his private jet and he was talking about how RFK didn't qualify for the debates. I guess that they have to have achieved a certain level of prominence in the polls in order to join the debate. Or perhaps it's a funding threshold. I don't know, but considering the fact that
it's a combination of prominence in certain polls, and then they also have to be on the ballot for enough states to actually win. So you have to be on the ballot for at least 270 electoral college votes, and then I can't remember what the number as far.
And he's not.
I guess not. Yeah, it's
Well,
not for the thresholds.
Let's figure it out right now. How many states have RFK on the...
Well, Zach's looking that up, just in case anyone's wondering. Brian Stelter has said, watch out, it's wild out here today. Lots of people are falling for misinfo about the presidential debate production. To address one of the BS claims, no, CNN is not putting the live feed on a 1.5 minute tape delay to somehow protect the elderly candidates. So if Brian Stelter says it's not happening, then I think we should all just take that at face value and believe what he has to say. Brian Stelter wouldn't lie to us, guys.
To protect the elderly candidates. No, right. I don't think if that were to happen, there's only one candidate that they're trying to protect.
Yeah, they've got to make the equivocation between the two as if they're on the same level. All right, who's got a calculator handy? Because I'm going to give you the state and the number of electoral votes per state.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, beginning with California, 54 votes.
Y'all.
Delaware, 3.
Y'all.
Hawaii, 4. Idaho, 4. Iowa, 6. Michigan, 15. Nebraska, 5. Nevada, 6. New Hampshire, 4. North Carolina, 16. Ohio, 17. Oklahoma, 7. And Utah, 6. This is as of May 11th. That's the most recent coverage.
And RFK Jr. needs to qualify for over 200, you said?
70.
To over 270. Oh, so it's okay. Well, no, that would only be an electoral that would only be 147 total.
Okay, and how many votes are there total among all the states? Anybody have this off the top of their head? It was like 320 or something like that.
It would be 5 something, no?
I don't remember. I don't remember how many exactly, but what I'm trying to figure out is what kind of a deficit.
If 270 wins, it would be what, 539, right?
I thought, is it not equal to the number of, I don't know. That almost sounds like the exact number of Congress.
Yeah.
How many electoral college? Let's see. Just want to see. The hell with it. 538.
Okay,
yeah.
So you were
270 is a majority.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leaves 400 if RFK was to take all of that. Okay, so obviously, if RFK wins a fair number of those states and Donald Trump takes at least 270, I'm just trying to see like where that would put Biden, because I think RFK will undoubtedly take some of those votes.
Yeah, but wait a second. Those states you just gave me, Zach, are those the only states that RFK is on the ballot?
Exactly. Yes, those he wouldn't even qualify for 270.
Yeah, that's damn.
Yeah.
That's why he's not. He might be on a few more since, because that was what, May 11th. So
yeah, May 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a month and a half ago. I'm sure he's on at least a few more by now, but I don't think he made it onto enough by the deadline for this particular debate. But the one in September, who knows? He might be able to do that. Or he might make it on.
So, okay. So here's a report from 7 hours ago. He is attempting to be on the ballot in all 50 states, but the Democrats are blocking his access in a number of them. Kennedy vowed to be on the ballot in every state by the end of July, with just over a month to go. He has made it on the ballot in 5 states: Utah, Michigan, Delaware, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. But he's facing challenges in Nevada, New York, North Carolina, Delaware, and New Jersey. In all of those states, he's submitted signatures for ballot access, but they are suing to say the signatures aren't valid.
Protectors of democracy. They really want to limit people's choices. These Democrats.
Yeah, this is the way they keep democracy secure.
So then, what did you guys see? What Paul Sperry had said? Is that nonsense?
What about Trump having an 18-point lead going in?
No. This was earlier on today. I saw that actually. Let me get it up so I can read exactly what it was, because I'm looking all over the place to let me see. Tonight Show, Thursday debate, blah blah blah. All right, hold on. You know what? I might have it in my recycling bin. I do. All right, this is what he said. Wait. Come on, open it up, you son of a. Here it is. He said breaking. This was at 10:34 a.m. this morning. Breaking while a White House press corps has petitioned CNN to open up the debate studio to reporters who for now have to watch a feed from a building across the street because they believe that there may be a, here's a quote, medical emergency involving one of the presidential candidates requiring on-scene coverage.
What?
That's what and I had the link. I have the link for it in my
I saw that on the Gateway Pundit.
Yeah,
that's oddly specific.
It's a real tweet. I don't know if it's a troll, if it's trolling. I don't know if it's a bad, just a bad piece of information. I don't know what Paul Sperry's reputation is like these days. Because reputations change, it seems a lot. So, but that was pretty interesting.
I still like Paul Sperry. I mean, personally, but
I don't. Yeah, but like I said, I only said that because I've been burned by, hey, check this out. It was like, oh, he or she went downhill a long time ago. Like, oh, I won't bring it up then. But oddly specific, like you said, medical emergency involving one of the presidential candidates requiring on-scene coverage.
They're planning on spiking Biden's uppers with something. Is this how they're going to replace him?
I was going to say, this is the replacement plan right here. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I mean, listen, this is why these are the reasons why I'm watching tonight. Not because I think that I'm going to get substance from either candidate. I really don't. I'm not there to see how we have two intellectual giants, or I don't care about the arguments. I don't think anybody else really does either. I'm watching body language. I'm just gauging physical things tonight and just seeing how the media chooses to handle it going into the morning.
Is there a candidate that you feel like could, like, I know like most people's minds are probably pretty much made up and there's not a lot of votes to be gained in either direction, but is there a candidate that you feel like could really shoot themselves in the foot more than the other through all of this? Like Donald Trump maybe turning it into too much of a roast, Joe Biden completely like looking senile to the point where he loses even more. Which one do you think has a better risk of really hurting themselves in this process?
Go ahead, Zach. You go first.
I think Biden's the only one that's really, looking at potentially coming out a loser from this. I mean, so, a lot of people, like I said earlier, are concern fagging. I mean, I saw all this stuff about, oh, it's a trap. I called put that on my show, Admiral Akbar, on my thumbnail. It's a trap. Because people are saying, oh, Donald Trump's walking into a trap by doing this debate. He doesn't need to do this. Okay, no, he may not need to do it, but Trump likes a challenge, right? He enjoys stuff like that. He thrives on it. He's going to walk in there, and what's going to happen? CNN is going to try to suppress him. I mean, they're not going to want his message to get out. I mean, they're going to do everything they can to try to give Biden a boost. And I think that obvious nature is going to be plainly evident to the American public, and they're going to say, look, I told you, CNN fake news. I mean, they hate Trump and everything is rigged. What's Biden going to do? He's either going to be his normal bumbling self, or he's going to show up and he's going to be a brand new man, and everybody's going to say, look, it's somebody in a mask. It's not really Joe Biden. It's a clone. They finally replaced him. I mean, it's all just going to be the same sort of stuff, and it's going to be positive Trump, negative Biden. I think that the mainstream media will try to spin anything negative on President Trump. But just as Frank said earlier, I feel the exact same. Everybody already knows who they're voting for. They're turning in for the shit show. Okay.
Yeah.
They want to see something going down in flames. I'm excited for that.
I think I'm with you for the most part, I guess, because it's really just the big conversation now. The conversation piece is who is physically and mentally capable of doing the job. If you look at what all of the paid, party shills have been saying, or they've been ramping up for the last few weeks, it is really just about, they have to play into these ridiculous, policy narratives. Like when they come out and they make all of the announcements that there is a, job creation numbers are through the roof, and we know that's all bullshit. And then, of course, they go on and they say that crime is down all over the country. And meanwhile, New York City is reporting just like today, we're again 300% increase in robberies and violent crime. I mean, so when they play that game, it's nonsense because people don't feel economically liberated. They don't feel safer in their neighborhoods. They don't see anything really trending in the positive direction. So where all the main talking points have been there is trying to really micro analyze every physical tick in Donald Trump's body to try to make it seem like he is just as physically decrepit as Biden. It's the only thing they've been talking about. Oh my God, Donald Trump stuttered with this one syllable, and now he used this. So that's all they're talking about tonight. So tonight, I really do think it's just really about they want Biden to go up there and be able to speak without blanking and to just not have some sort of a horrendous physical meltdown. And if they get that, then they're going to run around, beating their chest like they won the Super Bowl, because I mean, that just means that they get to report on how sharp he looked, and because everything else is we're on the opposite sides of reality. They say that crime is down. We are living in reality. We feel it's not. They say that the border is under control. We just need a better way to process people. We know that this is all bad for the future of our nation and what. So we're on opposite sides of reality when it comes to that. It's really just about whether or not that the physical specimen that people call Joe Biden is able to give them something positive to say about his his physical makeup after tonight, and that's really it.
No, you're totally right. Totally right. Gizmo's mom says, what do you guys think the questions will be? I tend to believe that they're going to open up with President Trump, former President Trump. Will you accept the results of the election on November 5th? They're going to open with that. I guarantee something along those lines.
You can stake it. You can put your house on that one.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty funny. Do you think the rules that they're putting in place actually play to Trump's advantage? Like they're not allowing interruptions. They're kind of timing each one. They're not going to be able to really go back and forth the way that they typically would in a debate. Like I feel like allowing Joe Biden to speak uninterrupted for however long they get for each answer is probably the best thing that you could do. If you're Donald Trump and you want to beat him in a debate, let him talk. Like the more he talks, the less sense he makes, the more stupid he sounds. Do you think like these rules to not allow them to interrupt each other helps Donald Trump?
No, those rules don't, because the best Donald Trump won the 2016 election alone on his interrupting zingers.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, just the comedic value of his interruptions alone won him the 2016 election.
Yeah.
So that is another thing that they are going to that really favors Joe Biden to kind of be able to give him some mental security to act within a completely silent space. And I think that is just another one of those things.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you guys see the video CNN put out on this? It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's watch it.
You have to watch it. This is ridiculous.
What do we want?
If we go behind the podiums, you can see 2 green lights. When they're on, they signal to the candidate his microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if a candidate whose microphone is off interrupts a candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium, and I'll ask Phil to come in and take the other podium. And so let's say I'm answering a question. My light is green, and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is off, and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Let's try the opposite. My microphone is now on. Victor's microphone
listen,
is off.
listen.
And he's going to interrupt me. My volume remains constant, while Victor's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Unbelievable.
CNN's production team has shared this demonstration with the campaigns earlier today.
This is all about curbing the most attractive, fun part of Donald Trump's personality. And
Yep.
I'm surprised that CNN did not go out and get a sponsorship from Planet fucking Fitness for this, because this is just like their lunk alarm when somebody drops a dumbbell too loud in the gym. Oh man, I can't believe it. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight is sponsored by Planet Fitness.
The lunk alarm. That's fucking great. I just can't believe that they actually aired that. Like we needed a demonstration. Like not only did they show it in one direction, but they should like, here's what it'll look like now up on this side of the stage. The mic is off. It's like they're talking to 4-year-olds, but then again,
Yeah.
I mean, who's their audience after all? I suppose it's
Well, it's just incredible. I love watching people take like that. That's CNN. I know that less and less people watch them. They've destroyed their credibility over the years, just like most of the networks. The age of network news ruling the roost is really just over. They have a place in the spectrum, and they're very, very well funded. To think that there are billions of dollars worth of production that goes into CNN, and they go and they commit manpower and production power to going and showing what they have devised. Instead of just letting 2 people talk, it's just incredible. The micromanagement. It's like I feel like I have been in situations like that working at the YMCA. People just dedicating unthinkable amounts of time to non-issues, and then wanting to be almost like congratulated for how they've innovated the space. It's just let them talk. Look at how we have muted the other person, and here's how it's going to work. We don't give a shit. Even if you're doing it, we don't give a shit how you're doing it. You're muting the person. Okay. I mean,
Like no, this is a totally novel concept that nobody's ever heard of before.
yeah, like we needed a Mr. Rogers field trip over that.
I was waiting for them to take their shoes off and put their feet into a kiddie pool.
I'm telling you, they just took us to the crayon factory. Show us how crayons are made. I don't care.
Oh my god.
that's
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe that when I saw it. I was like, man, they really don't think much of their audience. If this is the demonstration they feel is necessary to get them to understand how only one person is allowed to be mic'd up at a time. Real fast, PJW, thank you for the Rumble rant. It says arguing with liberals is like playing chess with a pigeon. The bird knocks the pieces off and shits on the board, and then struts around like they accomplished something. Thank you for the Rumble rant. And then Ruby Colux, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, says always so fun to hear you guys together. Glad I checked in today. Glad you did too. Thank you so much. That's very generous.
Thank you, Ruby.
Yeah, and then Lee Walden says check out the SNL version. You'll appreciate. Is there an SNL version of the of what we just watched already? They turned that around that quickly.
Really?
Really?
Has it been a Saturday? That just came out today. If you have a link, Lee, throw it in the chat. I'll definitely snag it and we'll play it here. But I didn't know there was already a parody of that. It's pretty funny. All right. Do you guys have any? So you guys are both going to be doing a live stream today for the debate. Then you're going to be on.
Yes.
Tonight?
Yeah, I mean, my show is obviously at 5. It's just going to run into the debate, and then I'm also going to be on Badlands doing commentary after the debate.
Jeez, man, you got a long night ahead of you.
I do, and I've already recorded once today too.
Jeez, I mean, I've got this. I've just been writing for 7 o'clock, but I'll go 7 to about 8:50, and then I'll make I have to make a new. Well, I can just make that second Rumble thing, but like with Pilled, I have to quickly make the Pilled thing, and at least it's good that I don't have to go and make a YouTube event, because anybody doing that on YouTube gets axed. I'm still on there somehow, but so that's one less thing to do. It'll just be like Pilled and Rumble and D Live and Twitter. I don't know.
Right. What time does it actually
I had
start?
time. What's that?
What time does it actually start tonight?
7, as far as I know.
Wait, wait. What starts at 7?
I thought that the debate starts at 7.
Get the out of here. No.
Yeah, hold on. I got it pulled up right in front of me. Oh no, it starts at 9.
Thank God.
Oh Lord. Okay. Okay.
I would throw. I had to throw my entire format out. I can't.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Well, I'm glad I checked.
Yeah.
You were planning for a 7 o'clock start?
I was planning for 7 o'clock on the debate, but
You see, that makes sense. When you said you're going live at 5 and that was going to run into the debate, I'm like, you're going live for 4 hours?
Yeah, no, my normal show's at 5, so this is actually much better. I'll go live at 5, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll come back.
Well, good for you, man. At least you have a breather in there.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're the post debate thing also, so you're gonna be a late night for you.
Yeah, I'll be on till 10. Well, gosh, I mean, I don't know how long the debate's going to go. I mean, maybe midnight. I'll get off the air.
Well, what do you think? How long do you guys think it's going to be? Because I can't see that they would want this to be more than an hour.
I mean,
I think it's supposed to be 90 minutes from what I understand.
Yeah. And then just think about, like clusters that show up in the midst of it. So, add a half hour on there. So I'd be looking at 2 hours, and then, we got to talk about it afterwards. We're actually going to do a couple of different segments with various people from Badlands. And yeah.
It's 1 hour, somebody said. Kick Dreaming says, I hope it's 1 hour, because I'm not going to stay at that studio for until 11 o'clock. Not doing it. Hopefully all the best parts will already have been said by 10. Anyway,
I heard 90 minutes is what it's supposed to be, and then there's gonna be 2 commercial breaks, so mixed in there. So that's when they'll shoot Biden back up with whatever he needs and let him change out his depends or whatever he's got to do. All right,
he's got. I bet you anybody has like a whole like a duty pit crew, a doo pit crew. They just swarm around him and change him. He's probably like a Velcro pants at this point. Oh man, that first commercial break. If there's a Planet Fitness commercial in the first commercial break, then we'll know who designed the mute system.
Yeah. All right, let me take care of our sponsors here. We have a second. Our first one is Goldco. Are you concerned about the $6 trillion at stake in the upcoming 2024 election? The Wall Street Journal has reported a critical issue, the looming decision on extending tax cuts scheduled to expire after 2025. Republicans advocate for extending Trump's tax cuts, while the Democrats lean towards letting them expire and increasing taxes on top earners and corporations, potentially creating a massive $6 trillion gap. But fear not, there's a way to protect yourself from this impending threat. Join the thousands of hardworking Americans who are taking proactive steps to safeguard their savings. Visit badlandsgold.com to claim your free 2024 gold and silver kit and fortify everything you work for. You may even qualify for up to 10% back in bonus silver, but hurry, supplies are limited. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Act now to diversify and shield your savings against the uncertainties ahead. Get your free 2024 gold and silver kit today at badlandsgold.com and take control of your financial destiny. And then we also have a word from the Badlands shop. Have any plans after the show? How about heading over to the Badlands shop, where you'll find Patriot companies with Patriot values. Put your money where your morals are and shop with peace of mind while supporting your favorite Badlanders. Whether you've been shopping for everyday household items, a unique gift for that special someone, skip the big box store, check out the Badlands shop and support Patriot businesses and Badlands media with every purchase. Find unique items for your home and garden, stock up on food, kids activities, pet supplies, and even plan your financial future. You'll find just about everything we're adding. You'll find just about everything, and we're adding more every day. Thank you for supporting companies that support Badlands. We couldn't do this without you. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/shop today. So again, always big thank you to our sponsors and all of you out there who support them. If you're watching on Rumble, on the Badlands Rumble, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, share the link. If you're watching on pill.net, be sure to hit that red pill button and repost the show. I got to ask you guys about the news with Julian Assange this week. He was entered a plea deal. He'll do no further jail time. I believe he's now walking free in Australia back home. I found the timing of it interesting. I thought the fact that the Biden administration was the one to go ahead and go forward with this was very interesting. He holds, I think, a lot of information that could really hurt the establishment. And being this close to an election, what gives? Are you guys as surprised as me to see this being done right now?
I was definitely surprised. Yeah, and I have all the basic questions I think most people do, and that will just take time to get those answers. Like, what's in the plea deal? I did a little bit of a review of the most important Julian Assange timeline events, like the scuttled FBI immunity deal that would have shed a lot of light on things, including would have prevented Vault 7 and also shed light on the origins of the whole Russia hack theory. But so and of course that goes all right into Seth Rich, and not just about, hey, who embarrassed the DNC, but who committed murder and who had already rigged the DNC elections, the primaries that year. So I mean, there's a lot of big things there, that I have to imagine he is going to be compelled to not talk about. And what's holding him to that? Is it an NDA? Is it what kind of danger is he still under? What were the parameters of this? That's the real thing. And I guess we just have to wait until he's comfortable enough to start granting some interviews, and hopefully Tucker Carlson asks the right questions.
Yeah, I look forward to that interview whenever it happens.
I mean, I think it's interesting that Tucker was in Australia yesterday as Julian Assange was coming home. So I think it's probably pretty likely that he will definitely be the first one to get an interview. From what I understand, WikiLeaks has to remove from the site anything that's damaging to the United States. So that would include probably Vault 7. A lot of the Hillary emails are already gone. They were taken off a couple of years ago. But yeah, and collateral murder, I'm sure that's going to be gone if it's still up there or if it was. And he's not allowed to keep them anymore either. But, a lot of people were worried about that. But like, WikiLeaks has been a broken organization for a few years now. I don't think they've had a significant release since 2019, and even then they had already slowed down. And, I think that, exactly who's running the place, I don't know. I think it's up for debate at this point. But anything that was on WikiLeaks of substance, of note throughout the years has long ago been backed up and been moved to some other server. You can find it if you go look for it. And all of the significant releases have been discussed ad nauseum and written about. So I think that I also understand that Julian Assange is not allowed to come back into the United States unless it's like under some very specific circumstances, like if he's accompanied by the Australian government or something like that. But I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I mean, I would imagine he's probably going to be just fine, staying at home in Australia, getting to know his kids, hanging out with his wife, and probably getting back into shape. Because, I mean, he's been eating a lot of high carb, low nutrient foods in Belmarsh, I would imagine.
Yeah. We'll see him. Okay. Yeah. That's but I guess the short answer is, yeah, surprising. I thought that this would just be one of those, pretty much lifetime imprisonment type of things, and it's not, which made me wonder if it was actually him getting let out. So
I think this would have been just a continued PR nightmare for the American security state. Julian had recently won the right to another court hearing on the on the limitations on his like ability to speak out on certain things. Like, you know, I don't remember what it's called in the UK or in Australia. It's obviously not a First Amendment right, but they have a right to free expression or something like that. And obviously, being in prison and having already been held all this time, you know, he has not had that right. And so that would have been widely publicized. And for that to be happening at the exact same time that a presidential election is going on, all those questions, President Trump recently having made the kind of public statements about perhaps, you know, just giving Julian Assange a full pardon when he gets into office. You know, this gives the Biden regime and the American security state the illusion of, you know, some sort of a win. They get to take him off the board. And, you know, at the same time, it also offers up his ability to talk about things that I think a lot of people have been wanting to know about. Certainly Seth Rich and, you know, anything else that might have been held back over the years by his inability to talk about it or go out there and post it. But you know, I think that most of all, I'm looking to see what that interview is going to be like when, you know, Tucker eventually gets it, because I can't really see anybody else, you know, being able to score it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First thing I thought about when the news broke, I said, "Oh, Tucker's people are on the phones right now."
Oh yeah,
if they weren't already told by the courts.
Yeah, that's gonna break the internet. That might be the most watched interview like ever online
Since the Putin interview.
Yeah, yeah, and that one was pretty, you know, pretty big deal. This I think will dwarf that, honestly, right? Because
certainly,
yeah.
Listen, that is all up to Tucker, all up to Tucker and all up to what how much specificity the Julian Assange is willing to answer some questions, because the questions and the willingness to answer them, you know, out forthrightly is going to be key. Because I mean, it could just be, I don't know, softball, unfulfilling, or it can get down to some really big things there. I mean, would you guys avoid the Seth Rich conversation if you had an interview with him?
Hell no.
Not
at all. No.
Yeah. That's like somebody had sent me the link to some kind of an interview that Eric Prince had granted to somebody recently. And he said, "Frank, you should check it out. It's actually pretty good." I said, "Well, does he talk at all about the Anthony Weiner laptop?" "No, I don't think he does." I'm not interested.
That would be my first question too. You know, I mean, I got to ask General Flynn about that. I was pretty stoked.
And what did he say? Because I didn't see this.
You know, I mean, I'd have to send it to you, but I mean, basically, I asked him about the Pizzagate tweets and the fact that you know, he was pretty much the only person, certainly the only person going into Trump's new administration that had even broached the subject on that in any meaningful way. And I wanted to know if he thought that specifically led to his swift persecution and removal. And he said, absolutely. And he talked about the Anthony Weiner laptop and what was on it, and, you know, hinted at the heinous nature of what was involved in it. And, you know, it's essentially, you know, things that we know. I mean, obviously institutionalized child trafficking and satanic ritual abuse, that sort of thing. I'll find it and send it over.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah. But that's what I want to ask Eric Prince about for sure.
Well, boys, listen, I have to go a little bit early today. I appreciate you both. Zach, have a wonderful night of broadcasting. Adel, if you want to stop in at some point, you just give me a buzz. I'll tell you this, I'll create a hotline for you. You can call in and crack a few jokes at during the thing. I'll be doing somebody said that the debate's going to be like 90 minutes, so I don't know. Maybe I'll stick around until 10:30. We'll see what happens, but I'll definitely be doing some overtime tonight after the 7:00 show ends. And I hope everybody is having a good time wherever you choose to be.
Awesome, Frank. Thank you for your time, man. Have an awesome show tonight.
All right, see you later. Peace.
There he goes, Frankie Val. Find him at quitefrankly.tv, 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Yeah. The whole Julian Assange thing caught me totally off guard. It's got to just be to score some cheap political points going into the election, I'd imagine, is the motivation from the Biden administration. But I feel like it's just like a huge fish to just kind of let swim free with everything that he potentially has. So
I agree. I agree. I mean, you never know what else is happening behind the scenes too, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a weird one. There has to be some kind of NDA or something he signed to keep him from talking about certain things, at least in the short term, I would imagine.
I think there's probably a reason they haven't put out like a copy of the certainly I haven't been able to find it. I mean, I've seen a number of news outlets, saying that this is what's in the plea deal, but nobody's got like a play-by-play or specific court documents. I mean, maybe it's out there and they're just keeping it under wraps, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I definitely want to see it though.
Did you see this video of Tucker Carlson absolutely roasting this Australian reporter?
Yeah, there's a couple of good ones.
I kind of want to play this.
Yeah, just do it. I love it.
Yeah, let's do this. I saw this right before we started the show today, and I was literally laughing out loud. Tucker's the best, man. Since he's gone completely like independent, he's gone to a whole new level of savage, and I'm here for it.
So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement theory. This is the same.
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well,
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times, and
really, when did I say that?
on your show.
I said whites are being replaced.
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans. And Americans who, like black Americans, have been African Americans, have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time, and you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So let's pull that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think.
So.
Well, you actually can't say it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it, and I'm telling you that to your face. So why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders, and as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States, and the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the U.S. population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
But of course you are suggesting, and well, I must say, one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the Great Replacement theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory, it's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't.
And my response is, no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
Okay, well, this is the same theory, or as you say, idea, that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting where 11 black Americans were killed. 2 white Americans were killed.
Like,
and it's also inspired.
It's not. First of all,
it's inspired one of the worst Australian guys.
How do they
of all
get
time
people
to
this
shoot
stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending to be, but I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass shootings, actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest. They're factual. That's not hate. That's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to. And nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually? And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes, and you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right, so therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought it couldn't get dumber, but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves. So the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so. First of all, in my country, that's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family. Period. And that said, I'm totally opposed to harming anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine and the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be charitable. I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
Tucker, thank you.
Yeah, I think that was brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
I mean, that woman was unbelievably stupid. Like that.
She had a narrative and she was just slowly grinding towards it. Not gonna work.
Funny, man.
It's beautiful.
Well, Zach, I know you got your show coming up in
Yes.
a little bit here, so I'll let you go a few minutes early. Any final thoughts today? Anything you want to plug leading into your broadcast?
Just my broadcast. I'll be live here at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll be doing the debate later on my channel, then on Badlands Media as well.
Very cool, man. Well, thank you for the time, and look forward to catching up with you next week.
All right. Much love, brother. We'll see you guys. See you in the audience. Hit that like button. Peace.
There he goes. Zach Payne, redpill78news.com, going live here shortly. Make sure you go check him out. I'm going to hang out for a while. You guys want to do some overtime over on pilled.net. Rambo and friends, thank you for the Rumble rant. Says, cheese gents, thanks for hanging on my drive to work. Legends. Thank you, Rambo. Appreciate that very much. And I hope your workday goes well. But yeah, I think I'm going to hang out for a bit. Not sure what we're going to get into. I have no plan whatsoever. But if you want to come over to pilled.net, maybe I'll take some calls, play some music. I don't know. We'll see what's what. But let's keep this going for a little bit longer. I've got a little bit of time today to keep going for a bit. So let me grab the link and I'll throw it in all the chats for you guys. I'll throw it in the Rumble chat. It's also in the Rumble description on 412 Productions. Throwing it over on Badlands Media as well. If you guys want to keep hanging out with me, I'll be over on my Pilled channel. Throw it on D Live. There we go. But yeah, big thank you to Frank and Zach for hanging out, being part of taking it back today. I'm gonna do a little overtime exclusively on pilled.net. So come find me over there. Again, I just put that link in the chat for you guys. I'm gonna play the outro to the show here and then switch over. When we get on the other side, we'll read your gold pill chats and yeah, we'll see what's what. We'll kind of just go from there. See you guys in a few minutes.